short. I didn't put a lot of stuff I didn't need. I needed a customer really only needed to hear a couple of things. So I like on the slide for the website, that's why I put you, because this customer in particular, loses focus if I put a whole bunch of stuff in front of him on the slide, so I tried to make it as condensed as possible. It was up to him, it would just be 2 slides, and he would be happy with it, so.
Is that what he prefers?
Yeah, he prefers to be more conversational than to even have it.
It's fine. You apply to what the customer wants, you know what I mean? So there's nothing wrong with that at all. Taylor, what do you think he did well?
I think I liked his war stories with other customers he had mentioned, with the branded labels, I know in particular.
Flip back to that real quick, so we can look at it while you talk about it.
And usually when I present this, I actually have them scan it with their phone and it pops right to the website.
It's a good idea.
Yeah, I even wrote that down. Demo, you know. What? Did you have anything else, Taylor?
No, just the fact that, kind of with the branded label, he actually made up a branded label with the company's logo and QR code. He didn't just slap on like the default UPS one that we have, I know.
Kind of like your last one, right? If you'd had maybe something like
Yes.
this, you know what I mean?
A lot more
your
impactful,
lights,
yeah,
A little
I
bit
agree.
more impactful, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
John, what do you got?
To kind of spin off what Taylor was saying, I think that's really cool because you aligned it with their need of wanting to be recognized, right? But then I noticed, this is no offense to anybody, no one who's not around like a millennial doesn't know what a QR code is and what it can do. So I think showing that this is what this does, it can take you to your website or give your client 10% off or take them to a YouTube video saying thank you or something like that. I think that kind of enlightens your customer to say, oh, not only did he align with my need of being wanted, but now I can add this little additional bump to, my clients that are out there.
Yeah, you could have set the QR code up to send it right back to their website.
Right.
Wow, look at this, I'm right back at your site now.
Right.
You know?
You're buying more stuff.
Just gives you a little bit more visual and gets them to understand it from there. I agree, I totally agree with both of you on that. I think that you established some rapport in the beginning. I think you had a story, you sent them some business, which I think was a good thing, right? So you had a little bit of conversational there. And you were kind of conversational throughout the presentation, so you weren't like, stiff or worried about everything. It was more like you just kind of were just, you're in the moment, you're just flowing through, and that was good. I think that you did well. So taking that, how do you think that you could improve this? What do you think? What's the area that you think you could have improved? What's the biggest area that you think you could have improved on?
This first slide is pretty garbage. I really should have gone. I'm going to be honest.
And just so I ask you, what was the intent of what you put this in place? I mean, what were you trying to achieve with this?
When I put this in, because I am reworking this for another one, I presented this one a while ago. So each one was a cue, and I had cards at the time. Each one was a cue to let me know what solution it was, because he didn't want to see solution slide, solution slide, solution slide. It was like a cue for the first one was like for returns. The other one was for QBM.
But does this apply to Fox?
It does, because it shows what we've done for them in the past. I guess this slide is garbage. I should do it in a different way. It has, but I didn't really explain what we did for them. A lot of it was, I was struggling because a lot of the stuff we do is so typical. Like Lou said, everybody does it. There's not a ton of things we've done in the past that other carriers can't do. Everybody's got QBM tracking, and that's all such basic stuff.
So what area did you feel like you should have the biggest improvement on that? Is it trying to align more, or what did you
Either completely take it out, or say it in a more organized way.
So you think the layout should have been
Yeah.
a different format than what you presented?
Yeah, a little bit different than I currently did. Maybe even with better cues that actually say the solution with the number next to it. I can just go by real quick.
Austin, what do you think that you could improve on?
One thing I wrote was have analysis ahead of time, especially if you're going to a pricing discussion. I always have like a net spin tool in my back pocket in case the customer wants to get bogged down in it.
Yeah, and just to piggyback off this is that I had a hard time following this kind of myself.
Mm-hmm.
And what'd you say?
No, just
You
I
too?
said me too, but no.
Because I'm looking up there and I'm going, okay, current carrier, 1,000, 5,000, 20,000, 240,000 annually, but you only do 100, you said they only do 80,000 right now, right?
Yeah.
And then I go down below and then it says current transportation spend 126,000. That must have been the 80 plus the 45, right?
Yeah, that one made sense.
That one makes sense, but I don't know what the other thing is up top.
I still have to update some of those numbers.
I don't think it's numbers though, I think it's the flow of the information and I'm not sure what we're looking at.
And that's what I'm saying, I'm not following this whole thing here, because I'm looking at it and I don't know what the 61,000 came from.
Yeah, so that,
I'm just not seeing it.
this customer, the way they asked for it, they said, we want to see a daily, weekly, monthly, annual. And one of them is with their current carrier, it was FedEx. One of it was what it would cost with the new UPS rates. And then the bottom one of, the top one of the second set is their current UPS spend, and then what it would be, because they'd be saving money on their current UPS spend as well. So it combines new volume plus the discounts on the existing volume, and that's how it gets to that number. Because they're gonna say, they're gonna save money on existing.
So the top portion for the 240, 189, and the 51, is that right? What is that?
So you're saying, Kurt, if I'm reading this correctly, they're spending $240,000 with another carrier?
So these numbers have to still be adjusted, because this is when I did this before. 240 was the total of everything that was in there at that time.
There's a lot more than $45,000 of opportunity there, huh?
No, because they got rid of half their business.
Okay, so are we in agreement that that whole top portion probably should be removed?
Yeah, adjusted, yeah. For these guys, this is how they want it. I just have to, he specifically asked for it to be laid out like this. But I just have to update the numbers for one of those CMS. This one's from the first time. I put this one in just as the principle of how I would do it.
And I don't want to get in the weeds of all this right now, but to me, from what you're saying, is that you've got 80-some thousand in existing, you've got 45,000 in annual. That would come out to about 126,000 if they moved everything over. The new spend would then take them down to 116 because they're going to jump into two tiers, and then that savings would be 10,500, not 61,000. Wow, I'm looking at it. Does that make sense?
Yeah, so the disconnect is, verbally I was saying what the current opportunity to spend is, but on here is the old numbers.
So you didn't
I
update
just
the
didn't-
slide.
Yeah, I don't have the information
So
to put all the numbers.
So what do you
in
think?
yet.
What do you think would happen if you presented this in front of the customer?
Like this?
Yeah.
Oh, I would never do that. I would never.
So then why would you do it here when we're trying to practice this?
Oh, because I didn't have all the math done yet for that, so I used this principle, how it does,
All
how
right.
it is laid out.
So you would have to clean this up and
Yeah,
fix this,
right.
Okay.
All right, that's why I ended up doing the first time. They ended up just staying on the same agreement.
All right.
Well, so I just wanna say, like, when we say clean this up, I don't think that's necessarily just make all the numbers accurate. I think that's thinking about a more effective way to communicate what's going on the slide.
Yeah, I mean, look, how do you think that we could make this more?
I know it's number vomit.
But how do you, all right, Taylor, you talk, how do we make this better so that way the customer would understand that, hey, if I move this business into this 2 tiers up, what's it gonna look like then?
I mean, I would just chop off the top half like you're saying. And then, I mean, I know the customer says that he wants daily, weekly, monthly, annually, but if you know how many operating days are in a year, like 252, like if I wouldn't have all 4. It's just really busy, and it's kind of like, do I really need to know the daily amount if I have the annual amount, vice versa? So I would just almost I know it's what they want, but I don't know. I would just almost do like, most customers like to see an annual number, and then that's a little bit, it's condensed, and like you're saying before, the customer likes to see condensed stuff, so I think that would.
Yeah, it's
that
the
thought
first time you
process.
see algebra, right? You look at algebra, oh man, they're starting to add letters now? It's real confusing.
How do we display this to the customer to say, okay, if you put this volume over there, you're gonna get an increased 2%, or you're gonna go 2 tiers and a thing? How do we lay this, how do we lay it out? To
Take
make
out
it-
every number except for this, and this. Combine these two, and add these two, and that's it. Just, this is the savings here, this is your current spend here, this is your savings here, and.
What if we had a snippet from their revenue bands?
Ah, that's a nice idea.
I did, when I presented this, I actually did have the actual agreement with it highlighted in the bands too.
Okay.
Which I wish I would've brought that with.
Or even just a snippet in the slide that shows the revenue bands. Show them moving up.
Not even a snippet, at least it's the
You could do a
number.
little table of pricing highlights.
Real
That
quick,
would-
little small thing, we bounce into the next one.
Yeah.
Look at it, we push this over here, this is what's gonna take your rolling average up into this area.
Yeah.
And now it's gonna give you X amount of discount further, so now here's what it equals at that point, right? That make sense?
Yeah.
All right, Molly, give me one other thing that you think you could have improved on.
I think like you kept saying that like at UPS we want to help grow your business, but I feel like you could have gone into more depth about how you want to do that,
Yes.
because Lou was like, well, this looks pretty much the same as what FedEx is offering me. So
Yeah.
like you kept saying that we're gonna, like, you should have talked about how, you know, we're different from the competitor and what solutions we're gonna provide.
Yeah, it was definitely lacking a lot of solutions in there with quantified value. Good a lot.
Well, something that, to touch on her point, differentiating factors, GFP, you mentioned you put something with a 100-weight addendum. GFP, differentiating factor, FedEx doesn't offer that. And it does essentially the same thing for ground shipments at least.
To me,
You're
what do
right.
you think?
Something to toss in there.
So we're looking for a theme, right?
hmm
And what was the theme that he mentioned several times?
Branding.
The branded labels.
hmm
It was, well, not branding labels, but brand, yeah.
Branding, growing their brand,
What did you say, stand out? Stand out in the market.
stand out
right?
in the market.
So if we're gonna stand out in the market, what do we, because that's their number one goal, right? That's what's important to them, correct?
Yeah, because there's a whole bunch of people like them, so.
Is there anything else important other than that? That's their top priority right there, stand out in the market.
Yeah, I mean, they wanna grow their business, and that's how, that's the best way for them to do it.
So they wanna stand out amongst their competition. How can they maybe
In a
the,
saturated market, yeah.
okay, so what are some of the ways that we could help to make that theme there? Because I think right now, we're caught into this, into the agreement and the pricing, and Lou kind of like, well, I really don't want to sign anything, I really don't want to move things over. How do you think we could have got them to not really even care about the pricing? Because really, if they're gonna move into this next 2 tiers, they're gonna save, how can we get away from that? If we focus on stand out in the market, what do you guys, what do you think we could have, how do you think we could have helped him create that theme to stand out in the marketplace for this customer, for Fox?
Pull up something similar with maybe, or should we compare them to their competitors?
I think, yeah, exactly, so there's that, what else? What else do we
Get things out of
do?
the country.
We got brand and label, what else do we have?
Net elixir.
Net Elixir, what else do we have?
List track,
List track, what else do we have?
the My Choice
My
alerts.
Choice, what else do we have? I mean, there's another.
Parcel if they ship
There-
international.
There's, right there is like probably 6 things that we just named off the top of the thing, right?
Mhm.
There's probably even more if we really got into the nitty gritty and really kind of dove into everything that's taking place. So I guess what I would recommend with you is that you want to take a theme and find out if they've laid out and they've said, hey, this is my goal. Some customers don't have goals. I've went into customers and they've said, we don't have any goals. I'm like, okay, great, I'm gonna create some goals for you because I think this is what would be beneficial to you. They didn't have them. Well, this customer has one. And if that's their hot button and that's what they really want us to help them with, we gotta focus on that. And if we could design the presentation to focus around that, then maybe this really isn't that big of a deal, because they're saying, wow, I can get all this, and now I'm willing to move maybe some of this business over to take that on.
Yeah, I gotta take out a lot of stuff. and
Well,
Organize it. in a
Don't
better
worry
way.
about that. We won't, so what do you think, so how would you, if we were to redo this again, how would you kind of lay this out for next time?
With the same presentation, or if I had time to make a new one?
No, I won't, well, you can make a new presentation, but when you come back next month, I want you to use the same customer, and I wanna see how you can change this around.
Yeah, okay.
But what do you think, what's
Oh,
the
you're
main?
asking me what?
Yeah, so what do you think out of one thing out of this, what do you think we're gonna try to change out of this?
I definitely put more solutions in there, even if I.
Solutions to what?
Help them stand out in the market. like
There you go.
yeah,
So-
like everybody was mentioning.
So your goal next time is that you're going to develop a theme,
Mm,
and you're going to align the solutions with that theme.
mm.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, and I wanna always try to keep it for this customer within 7 slides too, so I can figure out.
That's fine.
the way to do it.
That's perfect. So so you wanna lay this out like, so tell me what you want me, tell me, tell me what I want you to do for the next one.
Put more information about solutions to helping them stand out in the market.
That's exactly what I want you to do.
Or organize
And
in
it's,
the beginning.
and listen, it's not about the more,
Yeah.
it's about, there might be only 2 things that are identified for that customer,
Mhm.
and that solution, that theme.
Mhm.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, I mean, for the next one, am I able to put stuff in there even if I'm not actually being presented to the customer too? Because I know a lot of the stuff these guys are, this company actually is gonna go under, but.
No, I want you to give me something that is viable that you're going to put out there for the, that's the whole point. I don't want you to play, we can make up things all day long.
I mean, they spent $130,000 with us last year.
Yeah.
So that's what it's showing there, 130?
Yeah, I looked it up in BIA.
Okay, so, all right. So anyway, that's what you're gonna do,
Yeah, I
right?
get the point, yeah, I understand.
All right. Thank you. All right. Louis, what do you have?